Hey everybody, it's Andrew Lowen with Deliverance. I am your fearless leader. There are many of you that may be watching this video that don't know who I am, and it's the first time you get to meet me. So hello and welcome to the Deliverance Insiders. This video in particular is so I have three things to do in this video. The first one is we're gonna do a few announcements that are really quick that are Deliverance related. But the big thing is we're going to go over the pricing for the pledge tiers. And I'm going to timestamp this video. You can feel free to skip forward to that section if that's all you care about. But then very importantly, the next section is going to be related to questions. I have questions in particular related to our t-shirts, which were very popular. I'm wearing one of them right now, and the Angel Investor pledge. So I'll need your feedback on that. So let's talk about news. First and foremost, what you're going to learn in this video, I'll give you a little bit of introduction into who I am and all that, and how we operate as a company. Then we're going to talk about Board Game Arena, which is awesome. Strong Tower Con, our Kickstarter follow page, and a game called The Great Commission I wanted to share with you. So let's begin. So I am Andrew Lowen. I created Lowen Games. I created Deliverance to fill a need that I saw for a game that I personally really wanted to play, but it kind of became a little bit more of a movement and into something others wanted to play as well. So here we are after about 8 years of being on this journey. Took me 7 years from the time that I came up with the concept of Deliverance to the time that I actually delivered it to people. It is now currently the highest rated religious game on Board Game Geek and one of the highest rated games out there at 8.6 at the moment. We keep getting ones that knock us down because trolls don't like us, I guess. But so anyway, the way that we work as a company, I try to keep things only really as necessary as they must be. So you're going to get a once a month newsletter from us that and generally like we will resend that newsletter to people who received it but didn't open it. I'm assuming that everybody who receives our newsletter wants it, and so we'll resend it if in case you missed it. Usually once a month, and we try not to oversend that newsletter. If you want more information, we do give it in our Discord server as well as our Facebook group. Those are the two primary places that we communicate on a regular basis. That you will actually get insider information that I don't have time to share or room and space in an email to share absolutely everything that happens. So if you want the latest information, Discord is where to be right away. And if you want like art and other things like that, then the Facebook group's the place to be. We are active on Board Game Geek as well if that's your thing. So all right, so now let's talk about Board Game Arena. Board Game Arena is a website, boardgamearena.com, where we have been working very hard over the last about 8 months developing Deliverance to be played digitally. So we have about 430 people that are playing Deliverance games. We've had people play like 30 games in a row by themselves on their cell phones. It's really incredible what you can do. With Board Game Arena. It's for those of you that are familiar with Tabletop Simulator, it's like that on steroids where everything is fully scripted. Every darkness card that comes out automatically activates, automatically impacts the game. You don't have to worry about doing anything manually. The computer will even calculate, or the server will calculate how much damage you take, how much damage you deal. You press your basic attack, or whatever, and if there's only one demon next to you, it automatically targets that. And it's just really incredible how fast it also dynamically spawns the maps for you. Everything's set up. You don't have to put anything away. So it tends to be a really great way to play Deliverance if you're on the go. You can actually just bust out your phone and play a game in 20 minutes. It's pretty cool. So that's kind of amazing. And we're currently in alpha. So what that means is we're not publicly available yet. When we get into beta, which is what we're striving toward before the launch of our Kickstarter, we'll get into beta. You will be able to then play publicly without having to request it. But that's why this is news. Not just because Board Game Arena is awesome, but because if you would like to gain access to the Board Game Arena Alpha, all of my Deliverance Insiders, everyone who watches this video is welcome to participate. Just send me your Board Game Arena username. You can comment on this YouTube video with your Board Game Arena username, or if you don't have an account there, it's very easy to use. You can go create one, Tell me what your username is, and I will invite you to the Board Game Arena Deliverance Alpha event. It's pretty cool. We're getting a lot done really quick now. And okay, next thing. Strong Tower Con. This is an event that is happening in just under a month. September 6th through the 8th in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Sorry, I went Texan on you for a second. There's a 3-day convention called Strong Tower Gaming Convention, and I have a raid event. This is a 1 versus many. This is everyone in the room against me as a raid boss that all of you will fight. So if that's exciting to you, if you're already going to Strong Tower Con, you should definitely sign up for that. I will make sure to include a link in the notes of this video so that you can sign up. But if you're anywhere in, near Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that's a place that you want to be. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's the first time we've ever done anything like this, and it should be a blast. We're going to have a lot of Deliverance players in a room, and we're going to, I'll probably slay you all. So the next thing is, if you didn't know, we have our Kickstarter pre-launch page is live. Not only that, but we actually earned Project We Love from Kickstarter. Hooray! We have over 1,100 people that have found it so far, and I haven't even sent out a newsletter telling people that you need to be there. But, we have an email list of about 7,000 right now that I will be sending and, giving you all the updates. But definitely go there and follow. You want to get notified when we launch on our Kickstarter campaign. That is where to do it. So make sure you are following that page. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about, the last element of news, there is a game called The Great Commission that is being launched by a guy named, his pen name is Simon Polario, and another guy who's a big Deliverance fan, Paul Snuggs. Both of them are fans. Simon Polario is most well known for the Word for Word Bible comic, which has done like 10 Kickstarters. They're actually really well illustrated comic style illustrations of various Bible books, and the latest one they did was at the Book of Acts, and they have crafted a game called The Great Commission. It is a game about kind of spreading the early church, spreading the gospel and kind of growing churches in various regions. And I actually had the opportunity to play test this. Now, I am and for those of you that know me, I'm rather salty when it comes to Christian games because most Christian games are bad. And a lot of people will say, oh, well, you need to compare, you can either play a Christian game or like a really bad game. That's not really true. Like you can play so many secular games that are just really good, that are fun, that don't have any sort of, agenda to them or whatever. Like you can go settle the frontier in Catan. Like you don't need to, it's not either, play a godly game or a satanic game, And so I find the main competition between Christian games and are just secular games, like all the games, and so I have a very high bar is what I'm getting at, a very high bar for what qualifies as a good Christian game, a worthy Christian game that you should support. I actually I'm super excited about this one. I played it on Tabletop Simulator this week, and I had a blast. It was not cheesy. There were a few things, little bits of feedback I gave them, but all of it was cosmetic. The way it was like this Tableau engine building game where you're kind of almost like building a people inside your church, almost like each person is a card, each person has an ability, and you're dealing with various threats to the health of your church, and at the same time you're dealing with big events, like major global events. It could be positive or negative, and it felt really good. It was this really cool engine building game that actually did what it was supposed to do really well, which was take a Christian theme of the Great Commission and turn it into a really excellent game. And I felt like it had innovated in a couple of different areas, and so I think they're launching on Friday, so that's August 16th. Don't know why Friday, but that's what they're doing. So I'm going to be there, and I suggest you guys would be there as well. All right, now we're on to the section that I think the majority of people will want to pay attention to, and that is our pledge levels as well as the pricing. So we've gone back and forth. We've made sure that all the feedback was considered. We sent out a poll. Over 400 people responded, generally asking the question, what would you pay for the Deliverance all in, for all the new content? And we asked, like, what would you pay for, what would you rather have the Deliverance game be a cheaper price with less in it, less in the box? So $69 to $89 was the range I gave. What would you rather have, a cheaper box with less in it, or a more expensive box with more in it? And in particular, I asked about the number of angels. So the more angels leans toward a more expensive box, and less angels leans toward a cheaper box, because the angels, there are a lot of components for the angels. And then in addition to that, the campaign. So the more, we'll say, so the more linear the campaign, so 14 missions, just like the original that you play one after another, the less expensive. The more dynamic the campaign, so, you get, like, for example, in our campaign right now, you get to mission 3, you've got a choice to make that will change the ending. It's not like a small choice. You're going to make a big choice. And that happens several times. You'll open more than, so we had in the original game, you open one box when you finish mission 12 to see what's going on in the finale there. And there are going to be, we're planning on 4 boxes of content in this game. And so that was kind of the end conclusion of this. But overwhelmingly, everybody wanted more content. So it was either 2/3 to 3/4 of people, based on, depending on the question, wanted more. So it was like 2/3 of people would rather have more angels and a more expensive product. 1/3 would have fewer angels to get a less expensive product. 3/4, so that's 3 out of 4 people would rather have more dynamic campaign for a more expensive product, and then only 25% wanted a less expensive. So, and I actually think that we will make everyone happy with what I found out. So the cost of paper decreased, and it's going to allow me to make the expansion for $79. So I will be able to charge $79. I was very concerned that I was going to have to charge $89. There was the option to charge $69 and to give a just get less margin and that kind of thing. And I did do that in a very particular way. So let's talk about the pledge levels and the discounts, okay? So the first thing is, everybody that backs this game so we have 5 major pledge levels. So that would be the expansion game. You've got the base game that you can buy just by itself. You've got the everything new pledge level. You've got the Deliverance gameplay bundle with just like the base game plus the expansion. And you've also got the everything all in for brand new players that want every single add-on that we've got. So for anybody that actually backs at the expansion or above, you're going to get 2 things for free. Number one, you're going to get, and this is something that I don't think anybody knows or knew about, we were planning on doing a separate add-on for a scenario book. So every single scenario that we've released, and many more that will be unlocked via stretch goals, and are going to be released in a scenario book, a physical scenario book add-on. We are going to include this in every single expansion box that we print. That's a deluxe box. So it's a $10 product that you're going to get included in the box. So in addition to a dynamic campaign and all the angels we can muster, which is at the moment planned on 9. So we have 9 angels that we've designed that are being tested right now. And so we're going to have a really cool dynamic campaign with a bunch of angels, and the whole price, including the scenario book, is $79 on Kickstarter. But in addition to that, we're adding one other thing for free. So we're going to include a metal experience and round token. So that's a $7 token, or $7. It's actually 2 tokens that fit together. So we're going to give that for free to everyone who gets the deluxe expansion. And, we actually will probably just include it in every pledge. Like if you get the base game only, it's going to be a separate product that will probably later add, maybe bundle with the metal coins at some point or something like that. But anyway, so the metal XP and round token is at the moment going to be exclusive through this Kickstarter campaign. And that will be something that you can slide on the board to track XP or to track rounds, and then you turn the dial to track XP, which is really awesome. So that's free. So the pledge value of this first tier, and this is the longest that I'll probably spend on the very first tier. But the pledge values for the first tier expansion only, it's a $96 pledge value. It's going to cost $79, and you're going to save $17 if you back on Kickstarter. Now we do have a base game only. Now this does include it's a second edition of the base game. There are going to be some quality of life improvements in the box. The 5th player rules are going to be included there. The darkness board is going to be included there, with the 5th player marker on it and that kind of thing. We're not discounting that very much. In fact, we're not discounting it at all. The pledge cost is $99. So you get the base game right now, it's $99. You're going to get it on Kickstarter, it's $99. But we are including, because we have to ship this thing anyway, we're going to include the metal XP and round tokens in that. So that pledge value is $106. The pledge cost is $99, and so you're going to save $7 on that. Now, let's get into the exciting stuff. So for everyone who has backed Deliverance before and owns the first edition of the game, we've got what we call at the moment the Everything New bundle. So the Everything New bundle is going to include the expansion, the scenario book. It's going to include the expansion acrylic standees. So this is like the all-in for people that own the base game of Deliverance. Include the expansion acrylic standees, something that we have not revealed yet called which are minis of the walls. So we've got barriers in the game that block adjacency that you have to move around. They're kind of like the walls of the game. And we have minis that we've designed that interlock together, that you can that stand, whatever, an inch tall, that will show you. And actually, you're not even going to need to paint these, because we're going to make them this translucent blue color. It's awesome, which we'll reveal when we have a good image of them for you. But so those are included. Then we've got an upgrade kit for players that own the existing version of the game. The upgrade kit is currently slated for a $15 product, but we're wrapping it in and we're discounting it pretty heavily. And then in addition to that, so that upgrade kit is going to include everything that the second edition base game, will include. You've got the 5th player darkness board. You've got the fixed hateful fiend. You've got the card, the talent adjustments and whatnot that we're going to make to, the various angel talents and any other, minor things like, the card Massive is a major talent in the game that discriminates against Angelas, which I find hilarious. We typoed angels. And that somehow made it through all of our testing and whatnot. So so that is going to be included in this pledge tier. Now the pledge value is $156 based on all the pricing that we've set. The pledge cost is going to be $119, so $119. We actually had I want to say like over 80% of our people that we polled said that they would go all in if the price was between 100 to 130 for all the new content. And it's 156. We're discounting it to 119 for you. So you're going to save $37 by jumping in addition to the shipping, which I didn't even talk about. But now we've got the Deliverance base game bundle. So we've got this gameplay bundle that's purely, if you don't really care so much about the add-ons, you're going to get these things. So you're going to get the base game, the second edition base game, the expansion, the scenario book, and the metal XP and round tokens. That's $195 MSRP. We're going to place that for $149. And so you're going to save $46. This is going to save you, I want to say like $23 off of, let's look at 10 plus 7. That's $17. That would be, almost $30 savings just in the two games by themselves, the base game and the expansion. It's the best savings that you'll ever get bundling those two together, except for if you do the all-in. So everything all in is the final pledge tier. That's going to include the base game, the expansion, the scenario book. It's going to include the acrylic standees, both for the base game and the expansion. So we're reprinting the acrylic standees. It's going to include the wall minis, the upgrade kit, which is actually just in the base game. So, and then it includes the metal round tokens. It will also include the neoprene playmat, which is awesome, and that is getting updated to the or to include the 5th player. So you will have that included. I'm sorry, everybody, about the fact that the neoprene playmat, the old one, the only thing that's different is that there are 6 slots on the darkness board, and for the 6th slot is for the 5th player, and there's the 5-player icon that's located on the 6 XP marker for the number of angels plus 1 is how much XP you need to level up in skirmish mode. So and then in addition to that, it will also include the Metal Courage and Initiative tokens. The Metal Courage and Initiative tokens are awesome. I love them so much. Anyway, so the pledge value for this all added up is $359. We're discounting it to $269. So that's a $90 discount off of this particular product. I know that's a lot of money. $269 for the all-in everything. It's a lot, but again, it's the absolute best cost savings that I can give. I mean, you guys are not just you're helping me make this, and so you're going to be a part of that savings, and just I really appreciate you guys for being there with me, and that those are the price tiers. So we'll have the dollar pledge level if you just want to get into the pledge manager. But yeah, so the expansion only, to remind everybody, expansion only $79, base game only $99. Everything new is $119. The gameplay bundle with both boxes $149. The everything all in $269. So those are the pledge levels. You're saving between, I guess, base game you're saving $7, but expansion and above you're saving between $17 to $90 off the MSRP. You're also going to get shipping bundles. We do bundle everything together and give people a subsidy on shipping. This includes EU fans. So people in the European Union, I understand VAT is very expensive. We will be seeing what we can do to either include the VAT in the cost of the pledge so that you do not have to pay VAT, but we remit VAT on your behalf. So the actual price that you see is the actual price that is paid. Now, this is there are some things in the works that might adjust the way that we approach this. That's exactly what we did last time. So, we gave Europeans the absolute best price possible. We may actually be translating this game into multiple languages, and we will give you the option to select your preferred language in the pledge manager. So this is something that is still in the works, that we don't have, the contract signed or anything like that, but we do have, verbal yeses from some, and we'll be dealing with that as, just in the future, likely fully determined either right before the campaign goes live or right, during the pledge manager phase when you're still able to edit your order and that kind of thing. Now, I want to move on to 2 questions. So this is questions for all backers and prospective backers. Now, the first question relates to t-shirts. We've had 3 different shirts that we've made. We sold 1,000 t-shirts. They are very popular. We actually, like I said, I'm wearing one. It's called Halos. It's all the 10 Halos of the base game Angels. I would like to do a t-shirt for this campaign. T-shirts are at the moment not included in the pledge. I would like to do a shirt. I want to know what you guys think about it. If you would buy a shirt, we have our really nice shirts are made from what is called CVC fabric. They are screen printed. They last a very long time. They are comfortable. They're like the most comfortable shirts you'll own. And, as far as like cotton polyester, what's called a tri-blend. They're heathered so they don't stain easily. They don't fade very quickly at all. You'll use them for a long time. And these shirts are very expensive, and we really don't make much money on the shirts. They're just for people to wear at conventions and things like that. It's more of I consider it like a loss leader, because the fans of Deliverance want ways to show that they love this fandom, and that it's again a very comfortable shirt. So I want to know if you would buy a shirt. The price it'd be a $30 shirt that we discount to $24 during the Kickstarter, and it would be a unique design. I'm just we last time discussed several designs, and I polled backers, and we decided what shirts we wanted to settle on. And over the course of the campaign, which we may do, I may actually do some polling ahead of time to decide what kind of shirt we want. But it's so that's a major question. I don't know if I should have shirts or not. Next thing is the Angel Investor Pledge. Now, last campaign, I ran Angel Investor Pledges. We did it was like a $750 pledge that included the all-in. That included a T-shirt and a set of painted angel miniatures. Now, the painted angel miniatures were a rather difficult thing to do, very expensive and time consuming. Took what we ended up doing was we ended up shipping them separately, I want to say, from the rest of the product, because after we receive everything, it takes 4 more months to get the miniatures done. So we shipped everybody's pledges, and then later shipped the angel minis. That was a $750 ask. It really helped because just that people were willing to put in that much money. That really helps the Kickstarter campaign. The more money obviously that gets pumped into the campaign, the better. From the perspective of fundraising and being able to, it really enables us to print more things and get better pricing, and also have more product to sell afterward, and all of that. Everything kind of goes toward the same goal. It definitely doesn't go to me, buying a nice house or something. I actually haven't paid myself anything for the Deliverance campaign thus far. We sold through 5,000 games. We did 300,000 on Kickstarter the first time. It's not how I make my living. It is a passion project that I can see, maybe eventually making a living from it. But I beyond all else, I want to just make a fantastic thing. It employs a lot of other people though. So like my our artist Dan is full-time employed basically, by this project. He's a freelancer, but it's like he doesn't take on any other work. I've got, my game developer Adam, and he does our support too. I've got Chip Cole, my graphic artist. I've got Chaz, who is just a part-timer. I've got other vendors that we pay, like Yoan Boysonet, our map tile artist. We've got a lot of people that work on our rulebook, that work on our and editing and other things that need to get paid. We've got our video guy Kevin Grote with Old Man Games. We've got David Diaz with Mesa Game Labs helping us with like 3D modeling and making those 3D sculpts look really nice, even though they're just digital. A lot of people that are required in order to make this thing go. And so we've got David Umstadt, our story guy. He's our author, and so a lot of people need to be paid in order to make this thing happen, and that's what your money is going toward. It's purely going toward the development of the game. So the question that I have for you related to this Angel Investor Pledge is a $750 Angel Investor Pledge something that we should do? And then lastly, we have this Archangel Investor Pledge, which I don't think I'll be able to do in its same form because we've switched to digital concept art. We used to do sketches for all of our concept art, and we actually gave away a hand-drawn sketch from Dan Maynard, they're just, each of them are one of a kind, signed by him and everything. We charged $1,500 for that. We had 7 of those pledge levels, and they like disappeared. Last campaign, we had like 46, I want to say, of the Angel Investor pledges that we sold. And people were very excited about that. But only 7 of these. One of the big thing with the Archangel Investor Pledge is that you would get a prototype, like an immediate prototype. And I'm thinking of doing 7 of those pledges and just giving people the ability to jump on in. I'm also open-minded to hiring on a miniature painting company to do the minis if we want to do the Angel Investor Pledge again. So I don't know if it's going to be $749. It might be a little more expensive or whatever, just because of the pricing. I'll have to figure it out. But what I want to know from you guys is this something that you guys want? So anyway, hopefully this video gave you cause for excitement. And I know for me, I'm just extremely excited to see this hit your table. My goal was to make this video 10 minutes, and I think it's like 30. So I'm going to stop recording now, but thank you for being on this hype train with me. And, I look forward to seeing you all between, of course, between now and then, but September 24th, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's when we're going to launch. So 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's when we're launching on Kickstarter, September 24th. I will see you then.